All right, everybody, I'm going to give you a tutorial real quick, a little bit faster on how to add things into Fusion SVGs and then just pick the layers out and add a little bit to make custom boxes. So I personally just print out the uh, sign itself separate, and then I made a box that it slides into. So I can show you the box here. Here's the front. So it actually just sits on this lip right here, and then the back just kind of slides in behind it. And then the LEDs come in here and wrap around, and then the back panel here gets foiled paper on it, or foil tape, and then it reflects off really well to show. So, all right, let's go over here to Fusion 360. Make sure your origin is on, so if it's off, click it on. All right, the first thing you're gonna do is start a sketch. Now, I always just start a sketch with like a sort of an idea of about how big, either a circle or a square, depending on what shape your um, logo is or anything like that. If it's a custom shaped logo, then you can't really, you could still do this. Just give yourself an idea of how big of an area you are. I just like doing this personally. Some people do it, some people don't. So I just come out here and say, like, I know it's going to be 125 by 125. So I'm typing in 125 tab and then 125 and hitting enter. Okay, that will just give me a box. So I just hit finish sketch. All right, so we've got a box in that first little spot there on sketch one. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and immediately just go in to create another sketch. Just click on that same plane. So I'm on this bottom plane here. Just go and click on it, and then go ahead and insert. Now this is if you already have an SVG. I'll make a different tutorial on how to make an SVG or how to convert an SVG. A lot of you just use converters out there, so you're pretty already set. But this is if you have an SVG already. So we'll just say I have one for my computer. Okay, I'm just going to use this one, the Green Ninja. All right, go ahead and hit open. Okay, and you don't really see it because it's really, really big. So you can see how big it is if I zoom out. Okay, so I always just kind of like grabbing this little arrow here and then scaling it down a little bit. Okay, and then I just use this box right here to reposition it. So I just want to align that top left corner is what it uses as its basis. So I always just like to align that with the top left corner of my box that I already created and just get it as close as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I like trying to get it right on there. Okay, you can use the little distances here if you want specifically. I'm guessing it's negative 63 and negative 63. Let's try that. So let's go negative 63. Okay, and then go down here and go negative 63. Okay. No, see, oh yeah, because if it's within the original position, that probably would have worked. But now that I'm not in the original position, that's not working. So it's trying to do negative 63 from where it's actually at right now. So I'm just going to go like that. Okay, and then I just kind of scale it down so that it matches up with my box. Once again, I just use this little upside down eyebrow looking thing. And I just want to get it inside the box. So I want to make sure that when I do it, I get it inside the box, and then I can just kind of move it over a little bit to center it out, something like that. Okay, and then once it's the size that you want it to be, that you know it's going to be, you're going to go ahead and click OK. Depending on your computer, this is the part that takes forever because these SVGs contain a lot of information in them. Okay, and go ahead and hit OK on this as well. Finish the sketch. Sometimes when you do this, your sketch will disappear. So if your sketch disappears at any time, over here is where you turn them on and off. Speaking of which, we're going to turn that. You can delete this. I just turn it off. There's no reason to actually delete it, but you can. Okay. Now, as you can see, as I scroll over these areas, if I scroll in areas where I can illuminate areas in black, that means I can extrude all those areas. So all those are areas that can be extruded. I either hit E on my keyboard or I click this little button right up here for extrude. Okay, that menu is going to come up. Now, anything that I know is the same color, I want to select on first. So I'm going to actually do the blacks. Okay, so I'm going to select that eye right there because I know that's going to be black. Select new component. You can give it a distance right now if you want. So you can just click in here and give it a distance of 1. Okay. And then you're going to start selecting the rest of the items that are also black. I'm just looking down on my photo here to make sure I'm getting all the right spots. Okay. All right. And I think that's all of them. So I got the little eyebrow. I got the eyes. You want to select everything with the same color because it's going to make that component. And then once you do, you click OK. I'm gonna give it a second. Okay, come on over here. All right, you're gonna go ahead and go to. You can. It automatically turns the sketch off, so go ahead and turn it back on again. Double click on component to rename it. Okay, so I just name these the colors that they need to be in, because this will come over to Bambu. Okay, so you can easily identify what colors need to be what. All right, and then you're just going to repeat that process once again. Now we're going to select all the white areas. So we've got the pupils, and then we've got all of these little squares. So just keep clicking along. So you get all of them in. Almost done. And like I said, I think it's faster if you just click and then type one. It seems like it goes faster to me. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but okay. And then come on over here. Make sure you do hit new component before you hit OK. It looks like it is OK. I'm then selected on new component, hit OK. And then once again, you're going to title it the color. So those ones are all the white. And last but not least is just going to be the really simple one, which is yellow. Okay. So come on out of here. All right. Go ahead and select there. Hit extrude. Okay. Once again, new component. Okay. And then it's going to be one. Hit OK. All right. And that last one is yellow. Yellow. Okay. All right, here we go. So I'm going to show you guys how to make a box. So once we have everything extruded where we have everything, let me turn the sketch off so you guys can see. So we've got all our components here. We've got all the black, all the white, all the yellow. So the eyes are the yellow. We've got the white, which are the windows and the pupils. We've got the main background, and we've got the ninjas, which are the black. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we need to edit that sketch. Okay, it has to be the same sketch that we were working on before. So we're going to right click and hit edit. All right. And we're going to come in here. We're going to use the offset tool. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and click on, since this is a box, it's actually pretty easy. We're going to click on both these. We're going to drag it the correct direction here, and we're just going to put -3. Okay, so we're -3 millimeters out. That will give us our first level position. We're going to go backwards with both of these. Okay, a tiny bit, maybe 2 millimeters. And then we'll go backwards with the new one that we're going to make next, to give you that edge of the box that's going to go all the way around. And then we're going to have to go forward with both of these 1 millimeter so that it matches the front of how we extruded all of this 1 millimeter. So I'll show you all that in a second here. All right, so once again, offset, we're going to grab that line. Oh, sorry, you can't offset from an offset line, so I have to select the original line. Okay. Without unclicking it, I need to grab the little blue thing, come over here. Now I went 3 before, so I'm going to do -7 for this one and hit enter, and that will give us a 4 millimeter edge. That's going to be the edge of the actual box. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit finish sketch. So we've got our 2 little boxes that we need to go backwards with first a little bit, maybe 2 millimeters. Okay. And then we'll go forward. Okay. So once again, E or extrude, you're just going to click on that right there, hit E on the keyboard. I'm going to click on the 2 different bodies. I want to go negative. I said about 2 millimeters. This is just to give that little lip an edge. Okay, so we'll go -2 millimeters towards the back here, and hit, okay, so that's going to be fine there, but I do want it to be a new component, so I'm going to hit new component. Okay, and then once it calculates it, it will let me do it. Okay, so those are both going backwards. So if I can show you that here. So we went backwards from that sketch line, which is this way. Okay. All right. So now, oh, what I wanted to do actually before we did that was go backwards with this one. So I kind of messed that up. So let me hit undo. Remember, you have to do the backwards ones first, whatever the most backwards one is. Okay. So, and then we could just join the other one to it. So here we go. Okay. So we're going to start with this outer edge. I say give it a good 15. It depends on how you're building your box. Like if you're building your box where it's like front heavy, then you want to go back like 15, 20, 30 maybe millimeters. It depends on how big your LED strip is as well. If you're inlaying it in the front there, I tend to make my fronts the less, and then the backs the more. So I take that back. Let's go like 10. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do 10. Okay, so that's the edge that's gonna go back towards the back. Okay, and once again, I'm gonna hit new component because I do want that to be a new component. And I'm gonna hit OK. And then when I extrude this part, I'll have it join this part. And remember, this part's only going back the 2 millimeters. Okay, so this part I can hit, and I'm gonna go ahead and hit join. Okay, and then this one's only going back the 2 millimeters. Okay, and I'm gonna hit OK. I don't think I hit negative on either one of those. Let's take a look. Oh, I did. Okay, good. Or is that coming out towards the front? Yeah, that's coming out towards the front. So that's an easy fix. Just come down here to the history bar. Okay, edit feature. Let it load. Let it load. Let it load. Okay, and instead of 10, you're just going to put negative 10. Okay, so now that one's going the right way. And now do the other one. Edit feature. Instead of 2, you're going to do negative 2. Join on that one. Okay. And then we need to make both of those. Okay. We're going to extrude both of those now forward 1 millimeter. Okay. And it is going to be a new component as well. So we might as well select new component. We want that one. We want that one. Those are both going to come forward 1, just like our front. You know, we're going to hit join. We don't need it to be a new component. Okay. And then we're going to hit OK. All right, so what we should have here, okay, as I slowly flip this thing around, you should see that your front of your box should print. You should have a little bit of an edge there, or a lip, okay, that's transitioning. And then, but this line will not be here, this line right here. Okay, that'll be all just one flat surface. I'll show you as soon as we take it over to Bambu, okay? All right, so I'll see you in just a second over on the Bambu side, and then we'll put this all together. Here we are in my Bambu. Okay, I'm going to change some settings real quick. We'll probably either use adaptive cubic. That looks about right. Okay. All right, so I saved it as a step file. Okay, from Fusion, I went to export step file. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and import it here. Okay, so just go to import. There it is, ninja sign. Bring it on in. Okay, let's see. Looks like that's the face. Yeah. I tend to color these before I'm actually going to do some flipping too, just so that you guys can like see it better. All right, so let's do that. We'll flip that 180. Okay. I think that should be it. Okay, let's go ahead and check our objects out. So remember, I just named them what colors they need to be, so it's going to be real easy to sit here and put them all in the right colors if I press the right buttons. Okay. And then this last component, I want to actually be black or green. Ooh, let's see. Let's see how green looks. I kind of like that. Yeah, I kind of like that. I might leave that. So the sides are green too. Okay. But we do need to lay it down on its side here, so, or flat. So since I'm already in rotation, if not, I can show you guys both ways. So if you select the object here, you can just Control A for all, lay on face, and then just tell it lay on that face, and then you click the face, and then it goes down. Okay, so that looks pretty good though. All right, so you can see we've got our box here as I'm clicking around on different faces. Okay, so it's going to print that down first, and then it's going to start printing our box. Like I said, this thickness you can make different. It depends on if you're inlaying your front, inlaying your back, if you're going to like put little spots for it to slide together. Sometimes I do that. I think I showed you guys, so like on this one, I'll bring it over here so you guys can see. So on this one here, I made like a little shelf, and that's actually going to slide into the front of this one because this one just has little things that you pop in and out. So if you imagine that part there being the actual sign that can slide in and out, and then when the back slides in, it actually pushes it into place, which is cool. So you can do something like that as well. All right, sounds good. Oh, let's slice this. Let's see how long this is going to take. I'm guessing with that, like 2.5, 3 hours maybe. Yeah, 2.5 right there. 2 hours, 24 minutes. This is actually not the configuration I would use for a sign anyways, because I'm going to make sure all these gaps get out of here, which you can't really tell sometimes. Even if you go down to like the first layer and you're looking for gaps, it's kind of hard to see. Let's see if I see any as it's going on. That's always so slow. Yeah, you can't really tell. Yeah, see there's a gap there. Okay. Even when it's filled, you can see areas. See there's a gap there, all these little gaps. So I would actually slice it differently. Let me show you what I would use. I changed a couple of different settings. And I think I called it LED sign. So it's this one here. So now let's slice this. Let's see how much longer or if any it will take, and then I'll show you it's going to fix all of those gaps. So that's the first thing you can see is all those gaps are gone. Absolutely gone. It only takes about 10 more minutes, but it fixes it. Okay. So what I changed on that mostly, let's see. So if you go, let's start quality first. So quality, I think the first layer I changed to 0.32. The bridge flow is 1.05. I don't think that really affects anything, but this does. If you go in here and you do 1.05 here, that's really what changes it for each one of the filaments you have. Okay, and then over here in strength, the changes are down here. So 30% on the infill and wall loop, I think, changed that. And there is 3 loops, but I don't think that changes it. So mostly, I think this affects those gaps. If you don't have that 1.05 as the flow ratio, giving it a little extra material to lay down, it doesn't fill in those gaps. There's a little bit one right there, but we'll have to see is when it prints, is it going to have that. I've printed out that sign, and it looks perfect. So, all right, that's it.